Radio Show on WMPG.
Hello, my name is Christopher Kangas and welcome to the Gothic Rock Radio Show. As a Crypt Keeper, I crawl through the vaults, only digging up the best Gothic rock and metal ever made, and leaving the rest for the other stations to play. On tonight's show, I have some awesome Gothic music for you by Darkseed, Sentence, Cinnamore, and many other awesome bands. Also, tonight is a very special night, All Hallows Eve, and I have a really scary story that I wrote called The Night Before Halloween, which will scare the pants right off you. Or I'm hoping anyway. Thanks for joining me as I work the graveyard shift tonight. Before Halloween, when all through WMPG, all the creatures were stirring, even the mouse. Zombies were pounding outside this little white house, and everyone in Portland was listening in to the Crypt Keeper run his mouth again on the Gothic Rock Radio Show. All nestled in their beds, well, thoughts of, what the hell is wrong with this guy, ran through their heads. Well, all of their children were fast asleep, or better be at 4 a.m. One father woke up with a stiff in his bed. And if you've ever woken up in the night with a stiff, you'd better bury it fast. Because if the wife wakes up, seeing this could give her such a fright. The father looked out the bathroom window and saw zombies eating people's brains out in the street. Well, he called the Crypt Keeper right away down at WMPG. The police were busy and nowhere to be seen. I got there fast. I was right on the scene. I yelled, "They're alive! They're alive!" And after the doc pronounced them dead, they took some kind of pill and got it back up again. I could hear the noise of bed springs moaning and screams coming from across the street. I said that must be them. I'll look in their window and see. I have to drive the first zombie to come back to life again, to its final resting place in Yarmouth, Maine. I took the wife's pulse, and there wasn't any, but she was still alive anyway. She said, "I'm not dead, you idiot, check my pulse again." I told her, "Well, your husband said you were. All you do is lie there," and I believe him. "I'm not taking chances on zombies eating my brain." She said, "I was just eating oatmeal. What are you, stupid? Why don't you get a second opinion? But don't ask my husband, he doesn't know anything." I threw her into a coffin and put it in the back of my hearse. I put the pedal to the metal and floored this baby. I saw in the rear view mirror the coffining opening up. I yelled, "Hey, lay back and leave the driving to me. I'm gonna burn some rubber. I have a stiff to go big in Yarmouth." Here's a song that can cover up her screaming from the back seat. I'm on the interstate now, heading north. I will tell you when I come into Yarmouth. I had to stop along the way to drive a nail in the coffin. The lid wouldn't stay shut. It kept flapping in the wind. Yeah, I am getting off in Yarmouth now. I hate interstates. I enjoy a scenic drive. But I have to bury the stiff before daylight, or all the other zombies will stay like this, leaving the Crypt Keeper with even more work to do. And these cheap bastards at the funeral home won't pay me a dime for doing the same job twice. I know they would stiff me really good this time. But I won't stiff you, though. I'll always have some awesome Gothic music for you. I am coming into downtown Yarmouth now. There is Route 1. See, I told you that I would tell you when I came into Yarmouth. Oops, I forgot you wanted me to tell you before I came into Yarmouth, so I could pick you up some groceries, sorry. The drive was long, but quite enjoyable, though. I still have plenty of CDs somewhere. I opened up the glove department and reached into my drawers and pulled out these awesome songs by the beautiful women of Goth, and found a bone that I have to go bury. I'll throw that in the back with the rest of them. I'm on my way to the cemetery anyway. I am almost at the cemetery now. I think I'll go in the back way so I won't be seen. I'm hoping that no one hears her scream. Oh God, I can't tell the living from the living dead anymore. And I don't want to be eaten unless I can come into Yarmouth too and eat at Buck Naked's barbecue. Hey, I know it's hard to swallow, that I'm not a doctor and I don't know how to check for a pulse. I'm just a Crypt Keeper who works down at WMPG. Something just popped up that I have to go take care of. I had to go back out to the graveyard Seems that I buried that stiff in the wrong hole. But that's what happens trying to bury it at night with only my headlights for light. Now my shovel is all dirty and I have to go wash it clean. I hope that this worked and the other zombies are normal again down at WMPG, because here comes daylight and I am coming to the end of the show. I hope that this story wasn't too scary and I didn't come off strange. I am pulling out of Yarmouth now. I'm headed back to Portland, Maine. I dug through my drawers and pulled out these next songs for you. I was thinking on my way back to Portland, what if she was telling the truth and she really wasn't a zombie? I can't take any chances though on the living dead, and it's hard to tell around here. Oh well, at least I didn't cremate her. I arrived back at the station. All the other stiffs around here were all normal again. All limp and relaxed, I went in, sat down, and said on the mic, Happy Halloween to all, and to all a good night. Make sure you stay tuned for good more vibes, and don't eat all of your kids' candy on Halloween night. Catch me again next week on WMPG at the same time.
Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG.
Hello, I am the Crypt Keeper, and welcome to the Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG. Every week I drag you further through the crypt as I dig up only the best Gothic rock and metal ever made, and leave the rest for the other stations to play. So now you can leave your CDs at home and let me pick out the music. It'll leave your hands free to do other things. Thanks for staying up late and joining me as I work the graveyard shift tonight. Tonight's show is the special Christmas episode of the Gothic Rock Radio Show called The Night Without a Santa Claus. It was 2 nights before Christmas, and I was down in the crypt here at WMPG, digging through my drawers again. I was shoveling coal into the fireplace and going through CDs when I heard a noise coming from the rooftop, from down the chimney. I thought to myself, who could this be? Could it be Santa? No. I have been really naughty this year on the Gothic Rock Radio Show, and he can tell who's been naughty and who's been nice. And I made the top of the naughty list twice in 1 year. But I could hear the shouts of ho 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 anyway, and I was wondering what he could have brought me this year. Santa came down my chimney and fell into the fire. He caught on fire and burned up fast because he had a big bag of coal just for me, while everyone else got toys and candy. Now it's gonna be a night without a Santa Claus unless I can do something fast. And that's how I became the sub for Santa this Christmas Eve. I went outside and got a ladder, climbed onto the roof, and got in Santa's sleigh. I told Rudolph and the rest of the reindeer to put the pedal to the heavy metal and floor this baby. I've got to get back to the North Pole. I got a stiff to go bury. I could hear crowds of people shout with glee. Look up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Kris Kringle. He stole Santa's sleigh. I threw what was left of the coal out at them and headed back to the North Pole. I'm thinking about keeping all these Christmas presents for me. You're all naughty. I made it to the North Pole with what was left of Santa's body. I was greeted by Mrs. Claus herself. I told her what had happened, that her husband got stuck in my chimney while bringing me coal for Christmas. She said He has been getting fatter every year since eating all of those cookies. And since the elves also work at the fudge packing plant when Christmas is all over. Don't worry, dear. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Would you be a dear and sub for Santa this year? I told her, sure, I have nothing else better to do at 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. on a Monday night. And there is plenty of time to sleep when I am dead. I traveled from here and there, from to and fro. I even left the beaten path, and I have struck gold on my way down this treasure trail. On my trek through the forest and the fields, I even had to trim a few bushes along the way. I passed the Grand Canyon and almost fell in that hole. I don't know how Santa gets this all done in one night. I still haven't left Mrs. Claus's bed. I have to go now to travel the world. These presents aren't going to deliver themselves. Mrs. Claus said, "Why don't you stay in bed with me and use overnight delivery? Thanks for shaving me. I haven't seen Mount Camel Toe in years. Santa never takes me anywhere." I said, "It's a nice view from up here, but I have to go. The reindeer are getting hungry, and I have my rounds to do." So I made my rounds all night long, traveling from North Pole to the south, and from the west to the east, listening to WMPG, streaming live on the internet, Santa's sleigh, delivering coal to the bad boys and girls and presents to the good ones. I left their presents by the doors or threw sacks of quarters in their windows. I wasn't going down no chimneys. I checked my list all off except for one, myself. I have already gotten coal earlier, which I used to keep my fire going and to keep warm. But my name was on the good list this time for helping out Santa. There it is. Kris Kringle gets some brand new drawers, put his CDs in. Now it's time to get back to WMPG. It's almost the end of the show. I dug down deep into my new drawers. I had an itch for some new Gothic music, and I pulled out these next songs for you and found a bone that I have to go bury out in the cemetery. I hope that you enjoyed my story of the night without a Santa Claus, and of how I became Santa, and that even sinners can become saints, like St. Christopher and St. Nicholas, and remember to keep Christ in Christmas. Now I am out of here with my reindeer. On Dasher, on Prancer, Dancer, Vixen, and Dixon, and the rest of you. Yeah! Let's put the pedal to metal. I have to get back to Mrs. Claus. I have enough time for one last song. Make sure you stay tuned for Urban Sickness. I will see you again next week at the same time on WMPG.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Merry Christmas!
Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG.
Hello, I am the Crypt Keeper, and welcome to the Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG. Every week I drag you further through the crypt as I dig up only the best Gothic rock and metal ever made, and leave the rest for the other stations to play. So now you can leave your CDs at home and let me pick out the music. It'll leave your hands free to do other things. Thanks for staying up late and joining me as I work the graveyard shift tonight. Tonight's show is the Valentine's Day special of the Gothic Rock Radio Show and the story of the Crypt Keeper. He has a problem. His boss gave him a stiff, and he has nowhere to bury it. Boss them.
I don't know. I just give them to you. Your job is to bury them.
He has to hurry and find a place, because he has to find a date for this Valentine's Day. I just can't sit on this stiff. The hearse is starting to stink, and I have to find a date. Love is in the air tonight. I went and took some flowers off a grave for Valentine's Day. It's time for the Crypt Keeper to go dig up a date and go out dancing and maybe get lucky later. Damn, the ground is frozen over out in the cemetery. I'm gonna have to go see what's down in this crypt. God, I have to find a place to bury this stiff. Hey, Portland, it's time to get your gas mask on. There's been an accident in my drawers. There is toxic waste spilling onto the floor, and my hair is starting to glow green. Now I have to clean up this mess, and I hope that my hair doesn't fall out. The Crypt Keeper never comes back from the crypt empty-handed. After digging through my drawers, I'll always have some awesome Gothic music for you. Now, where did that bone come from? Huh? Oh, I know. It was left over from burying that stiff out in the cemetery, I promise. So I have been looking everywhere for a hole to bury the stiff in. The ground out in the cemetery is frozen over. The crypt is too full of CDs. So I'll have to keep dragging it around with me. I am really getting sick of playing with this stiff. I can't find anywhere to bury it. Why did my boss have to give me one on a night like this? I really have to get ready now for a date. I can't go out looking like this. Yeah, when you're goth, you have to follow your roots and find your hair standing up on end. Well, now I'm gonna get the hairspray out and spike it for these horror punk bands. So how do I look, anyway? I got sick of having this stiff, so I threw it down a hallway. I'll just have to find a place to bury it later. I finally found a date, and we're going out dancing. I hope she likes flowers and chocolates. Maybe I'll get some later. Nope, she didn't save any for me. Well, here's another CD for you. So I took some flowers off a grave and dug up a girlfriend. Now it's time for the Crypt Keeper to go out dancing. The smell of formaldehyde is in the air tonight from the chemical spill. Embalming fluid is running through my date's veins, but it's hard to dance with a stiff. It keeps poking everyone around me. Get that thing away from me! Hello, I am the Crypt Keeper, and besides burying stiffs out in the graveyard, late at night, I like to sneak into the funeral home that I work at when no one's around. I am a master musician myself, besides playing Gothic music. So I sneak in here to play with my organ for most of the night, and I hope that I don't get caught. Gotta get some lube for that. Well, now back to some more awesome Gothic music just for you.
You will never catch the Crypt Keeper with his pants down. I will always have some awesome Gothic music for you. Plus, I usually wear a belt.
I hope that you enjoyed my story of how Crypt Keeper has to find a date for Valentine's Day. He got flowers and chocolate, but didn't get any. I hope that you all do better than he did and score some candy, or you might have to go get lessons on playing with your organ just like he did. Well, I'm almost out of time for tonight's show, but make sure you tune in again next week at the same time every Monday night at 11:30 on WMPG, and make sure you stay tuned next for Urban Sickness. I have enough time for one last song.
Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG.
There is nothing wrong with your radio. Do not attempt to change the channel. The Gothic Rock Radio Show is now in control of the transmission. I can control the left speaker, and I can control the right speaker to crystal clarity and beyond into HD. I can deluge you with my madness, or expand my playlist to infinity. I can shape your vision to anything my imagination can conceive. For the next hour and a half, the Crypt Keeper will be in control of all that you hear. You are about to experience the awe and the mystery that is the Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG. Please stand by. Hello, I am the Crypt Keeper, and welcome to the Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG. I have been digging further through the crypt, and I have dug up some of the best Gothic music that I could find, and I left the rest for the stations to play. So now you can leave your music collection at home and let me pick out the music for you. It'll leave your hands free to do other things. Tonight's show is the Independence Day special of the Gothic Rock Radio Show, and I'll raise a flag to that and salute it. Nothing is more American than picnics, apple pies, American fries, cowboys, Indians, and some good Gothic Americana. Yummy. Now this is something a vampire can really sink their teeth into. And I'll be telling you a funny story of how I moved here to Portland and became a Crypt Keeper on WMPG. Before I moved here to Portland, I was a Crypt Keeper in a one-horse town called Morningwood. I lived next to the cemetery in a campground in one of those self-pitching tents that would set itself up every night. I used to have to wake up early to water my horse. He sure does get thirsty by morning. The sheriff in town keeps me in business. He shoots first and asks questions later. But I heard from his wife that he's been shooting blanks for years. I wasn't taking any chances though. I got out of town fast before he shot me full of hot lead. Now I have some country goth music for you. Yeehaw!
Get back here, you chicken liver coward. You're gonna pay for what you've done. Man, you've got a gray streak a mile wide.
I hope that I lost him. The sheriff wants me dead. He didn't like the last place I buried a stiff. Oh no! The sheriff is right behind me. He's trying to ride my ass hard. I have to lose him. He's becoming a real pain in the ass. I'd better get rid of this stiff and loosen my load a little bit. There. This'll make me come faster to the finish line.
What the hell? That stiff is getting bigger, and it's coming right after me. Wow, that was a big stiff. I can see why he was in such a hurry to bury it. It knocked me clean off my horse. The dead weight must have been dragging him down. Look at him go now.
What do I have to do to make this horse go faster?
Yeah! Yeah!
I've got to get to Portland.
Yeah! Yeah!
There's holes that need to be dug there. And need a stiff buried in.
Yeah! Yeah!
Come on. Can't you go any faster? It feels like I'm beating a dead horse to death here. Oh. There's a fork up in the road ahead. I don't know which way to go. And I'm not gonna jump the fence. There's a big bush in the way that I need to beat around the way I have to go. Damn! I think I might be lost. I can't go both ways. I'm on the straight and narrow path here. Well, that was a pretty big bush to beat around. Oh, there's a sign. You're in Hairy Gulch. Good, only 40 more minutes, and I'll be in Portland. When I finally got to Portland, I found my first job here when I went down by the sea. And I found a man in a boat. He offered me a job as a fisherman catching crabs. We cast it out in a big hole. There was something down in there that kept grabbing my pole. and I almost fell in. God, that man in the boat is such a pussy. He threw his pole in as soon as it was yanked. He was too afraid to get his feet wet. I guess now I know why he hired me for. Well, I ended up getting laid off. The restaurant that employed us went out of business and I lost my job. The crabs there were all you can eat. And some woman down the street was giving them away for free.
You will never catch the Crypt Keeper with his pants down. I will always have some awesome Gothic music for you. Plus, I usually wear a belt.
Back to crypt keeping. I went to the funeral director in town, and I told her that I was the best damn crypt keeper in these parts. I got so good at burying stiffs, I can do it with both of my hands tied behind my back. She said,
That's what they all say. Well, I guess all you have to do is dig a hole with your shovel and bury a stiff. I'll give you a chance.
Older for the sheriff. I wouldn't want him to sneak up behind me again and take me by surprise. He'll never find me here on WMPG. Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Portland, Maine at WMPG. I'm playing Gothic Rock and metal on your radio. Listen in as you head up the highway, as you go from town to town. And baby, don't touch that dial. Keep it here on WMPG for a while. Gothic Rock Radio Show is on every Monday night at 11:30. Your stereo, tune in and listen to me once in a while. I'm at WMPG and W281AC, Gorham, Portland, Southern Maine's Community Radio, USM, 90.9 FM and 104.1 FM on your radio dial. Well, I hope that you all had an awesome 4th of July and had some fireworks of your own. Me, I had some golden shower sprinklers. I hope that you enjoyed my story of how I became the Crypt Keeper at WMPG. Watch out! I think the sheriff is right behind me. Try to act normal. Yeah, right. That never works out for me. Oh wait, that is just Jason from Urban Sickness. Make sure that you stay tuned for him next. Hey, don't sneak up on me like that. Well, partner, I only have enough time for one last song. I'm hitting the dusty trail. See you next week at the same time. WMPG.
Gothic Rock Radio Show on WMPG.
Hello, I am the Crypt Keeper, and welcome to the Gothic Rock Radio Show. I crawled through the crypt and dug up only the best Gothic rock and metal for tonight, and left the rest for the other stations to play. So now you can leave your CD collection at home, and let me pick out the music. It'll leave your hands free to do other things. Thanks for staying up late tonight and joining me as I work the graveyard shift. You're in for a special treat tonight. I just gotta take the wrapper off at first. There you go. Here's a lollipop for everyone to suck on. Tonight is the Gothic Rock Radio Show's Halloween special. And along with some awesome goth, I have a really scary story that I wrote called Trick or Treat. and it will scare the pants right off you. Or I'm hoping anyway. When I am working out in the graveyard, I come across a lot of death. It cheers me up as I whistle along to their grunts, growls, and screams. Now that's music to my ears. I will fear no evil as I walk through the shadows of death. I never go anywhere without protection. I always carry a shovel. I'm still out in the graveyard. I am digging a hole 6 feet deep. I think I've got to dig a little deeper. This is a big stiff, and it's not going to fit in that hole. Then I heard a noise coming from behind me. I turned around to look and see. To my surprise, I saw 3 hot vampire chicks sucking on my stiff that I was supposed to bury. I said, "Stupid vampires, you can suck on that thing all night long. It's been dead since I don't know when, and it's starting to rot. Look, rigor mortis has set in, and it's hard as a rock, and you might lose some teeth if you sink them in too deep." I shouldn't have said anything. Now the vampires have turned their attention onto me. They yelled, "Ah, fresh meat!" I grabbed my stiff and ran as fast as my feet would take me. I should have brought some rubbers. After running through the swamp, my feet are soaked and my boots are starting to squeak. And the vampires are still chasing after me, and they can hear me. My stiff doesn't look the same anymore. After the vampires sucked all the embalming fluid out of it, I hope the widow doesn't notice. Finally, I'm coming to the forest. I can see a light. There's a house with 3 old ladies brewing a stew in a large pot outside, singing incantations. They're witches! Don't worry, I have dealt with witches before in the past. I'll take care of them. I turned around to find my shovel. To my surprise, they stole my stiff when I wasn't looking. Grave robbers! The witches are eating my stiff!
It's a little bony and wrinkly. I think someone else has sucked on it first.
Well, now I feel like such a dick. I have a hole but no stiff to bury in it. The vampires sucked the life out of it. Then the witches ate it and are sitting on the rest. Yes, I see a shaft. Could that be the lost goth mine? I will get it back up again! This stiff needs a proper burial. I snuck up when the witches fell asleep and got what was left of the stiff. Only the head was left and some of the neck that they were sitting on. Well, that will do. At least they didn't eat the whole thing. That's a lot of meat for any woman to swallow. I think I spoke too soon. One witch is still awake, playing with her pussy. I said to myself, man, that's one hairy pussy. There is fur all over my stiff's head. And I gotta brush it all off now before I bury it. The witch screamed when she saw me. Oh man! I hope he has a stiff to bury. I have a hole that needs filling out back. I got the head and what was left of the body and got the hell out of there fast. Now the vampires and the witches are chasing me down. I took
took off and ran down the street. I think that the vampires and the witches are still chasing me. Halloween is one scary night. I passed zombies, werewolves, and demons, all yelling trick or treat. There's nowhere I can go to get away from them. I am scared to death, and sweat is pouring off of me. My heart is pounding. I see a building. It says WMPG. That looks like a good place to go to bury a stiff and hide from the witches, werewolves, and zombies. I ran down into the crypt and put the head next to some CDs. I reached for the light. I turned it on and turned around. And to my surprise, everyone yelled,
Trick or treat! Trick or treat! Trick or treat! You cheap old bastard! You should have just gave us some candy!
What? That was just a trick? Well, I hope your Halloween was as scary as mine was. And don't turn off all your lights and pretend you're not home on Halloween night like I did. Because all the kids know when you're home, they can smell your feet. So how about something good to eat?
Now I really gotta answer the door. Before I find the trick-or-treaters, have toilet papered my trees and threw eggs at my windows. I could really use some eggs and toilet paper. Every time I eat eggs, well, you know the rest of the story. Well, make sure you stay tuned for Urban Sickness next. And I'll catch you back here next week, every Monday night at 11:30 on the Gothic Rock Radio Show. I'm coming, god damn it! Hold your fucking horses.
Happy Halloween!